They say that the human race is doomed, that we have lost touch with our true nature, that the media has corrupted us, and that the planet has no future. I disagree. I believe that humanity is full of hope, and that our salvation lies within each one of us. My name is Brian Rose, and my job is to listen, the oldest method of learning known to man. Each week I seek out individuals that are changing the world, people who are living and thinking in a different way. Their stories will challenge your beliefs, make you question your choices, and perhaps inspire you to change. I never planned on doing any of this, but now I can't stop. Join me on this mission and make humanity something we can all be proud of.
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Tim Neal, recent graduate of our Business Accelerator. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tim, tell us about you. What do you do? Where are you from?
So I'm originally from a small town called Boston in Lincolnshire, which Boston, Massachusetts is actually named after. So that's the only famous thing about it. But I moved to Sheffield 22 years ago to follow my dreams of being a DJ. I've now live in South Yorkshire. My business what I do is quite unique actually, but I guess the way I could describe it is I'm kind of an emotional release specialist and a deep mindset coach. But that doesn't really I take people on healing journeys, okay, which is how I kind of describe it to people. But I help people with trauma and things like that to release that traumatic kind of emotional energy and then to work on their mindset and get connected back to themselves in a short way. That's kind of what I do.
Okay. And what was going on in your life, like kind of inside of your head and around you when you decided to investigate the Business Accelerator?
I didn't really investigate it. It kind of just found me. It kind of popped up because, as you know, I've been following you for quite a while, but I've got a habit of kind of winding past the adverts at the beginning and just going straight into the interview. And I always do that. And for some reason, my friend sent me a link to one of your interviews the other week, and I just pressed play and left it going. And I was like, ooh, Business Accelerator. I was like, it sounds interesting. So then I had it on in my car. So when I got the other end, I watched it back, and there was just something exciting about it. Just something really drew me to it, So then when I got to where I was going, I looked on the website and I was like, ooh, this is really exciting. And then I watched one of your, you do those longer sort of 2 hour or whatever webinars. I watched one of those, and by the end of that, I was sold. I was just like, this just feels like it's just dropped into my lap at exactly the right time. Because I've got a business I've been building about 4 years, but I'm not getting out. I'm not reaching enough people, and it's just not happening, but I know it works. It's brilliant, the effects I get for people, and I've got so many happy clients, but not enough for it to support me and to leave my job. So I do a part-time job and I do that. And I've got this kind of not quite jumping kind of thing. And this just felt like it would be that it was the accountability, I think, that really sort of appealed to me. And the fact I've been part of your journey for the last 5 years, and I've seen what's evolved, and that's been really exciting. So with you sort of saying, I'm going to teach you what I've learned along the way to create this, it just seemed like an ideal kind of thing for me,
Yeah. And why London Real?
I think the energy behind London Real, the love behind London Real, and we were talking last night when we went out for a meal, and we were talking about what made you pull the trigger. And the thing was, it was just that energy behind it. Two of us were talking especially, it was the energy, your energy, and the energy of everything it seems to represent. And it's one of them things that you can't really put words to. It's just that, it just feels really good. Everything I've seen you do feels good. And then when I watched the advert for the Accelerator, it felt good. And I work in the realms of feeling, So I deeply trust my feelings. So because it felt so exciting and felt so right, and like I said, everything I've seen you do is exactly the same. I think we all look out for warning signals and stuff, and I've never seen any warning signals. And as soon as I found the Accelerator, I was like, right, I'm going to go and dig for dirt. So I went digging for dirt and I couldn't find any. I just found really amazing reviews by people and just videos like this and stuff, you know, it just all seemed good. So I just reached out, and then I backed off a little bit because I got those little wobbles. And then you asked me a question on that little pop-up thing saying, what's stopping you pulling the trigger? Because I guess you could see I'd like had a look a few times. And I said, money. And I think you said something like, how long is that going to be a story for? And I was like, ooh. Ooh. And then that was it. I was like, yeah, too true. How long is that going to be a story for? It's been a story for a long while, you know. So that was what made me actually pull the trigger in the end.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. It's interesting how you can feel in your heart and know and know and know, and yet something still keeps you back.
Just a little tiny bit of fear popped in,
Yeah.
and it was just like, but I think it had plugged into a whole lot of old fear, you know. So it might have just felt like a little bit, but I think there was a lot of stories going on which came out during the actual course, you know.
Okay, so
obviously.
let's talk about that. So you join, and you're kind of dumped in this Facebook group for the 150 people around the world. I'm throwing modules at you. You got me on live calls. You got this accountability doc, video modules, workbooks. What's that first 2 weeks like?
It's really intense, but exciting. You know, and it was a confirmation of what I thought it would be, especially when you got on the calls, because you're awesome on video anyway, but when you're on the calls, man, you were on fire. You know, it's palpable. Your energy is just like so, you can see you love it, right? And that's the thing I was most impressed about when we first started was that, and I see parallels so much with what I do with this, is that you created such a safe space for us all to express whatever we needed to express, to create whatever you needed to create. The coaches were in there, the leaders were in there, it was just, and there was such non-judgment, such a culture of non-judgment, but still calling out bullshit or anything. So if you thought an idea wasn't quite right, you wouldn't put it down, you'd just say, oh, you thought about it for this or that. And it was just that supportive kind of thing I was really impressed with. And I felt nurtured, if you know what I mean, right from the beginning. And it felt okay to then tiptoe out with little ideas and share them and see what people thought, and not get scolded for it, not get put down for it, not get made wrong for it, because I guess that was my story from the past, that I'd been made wrong for a few ideas and things. So it was just tiptoeing out and just putting some ideas out there and getting good feedback, and just our team gelled so quickly in that environment, you know, because it was safe and because Susan was amazing, like as a leader, she was incredible. And that just that whole environment just made our team, we were like family within a week. It was crazy. We were talking about it last night when we all went out. We feel like we've known each other forever. You know, we've known each other 2 months.
How do you explain that to people like in your life about what this community is like? Like, how do you tell people what it is, and can you explain what it is?
I think it's difficult if you've not been part of it, you know, because it is kind of surreal. You know, I was walking with Jamie last night down the road, and we just looked at each other and just laughed. And I went, how weird's this? This is the first time we've ever seen each other in 3D, because that's what we were all saying, we're not on a flat screen. But it feels like I've known you forever, and there's no weirdness actually about it. And it's just, I think when you go through such a deep experience with somebody, and you've felt their support and their love, and you've given them love and support as well, it just bonds you so quickly. And I think that was what we felt as a team, and as the whole group, not just our team, as the whole of London Real, felt like, it just felt like instant family, just add water kind of, you know, it was amazing.
Just add the Zoom software.
Indeed.
Yeah. What were like some wins for you in the beginning or for the course? What were some things that you were like, wow, I did this and I felt like I really got some progress?
I think doing the pitch at first, that was really cool. And it was a confirmation for me, because again, like I said, I've not had the best sort of past with other people sort of not supporting me and things, even down to my parents at times didn't support me massively. So to have a forum where you could put out your idea. So I remember doing the first pitch and I thought it was kind of all right, and I put it out there, and then a few people come back, yeah, good, but this bit, and good, but that bit, not sure about this bit. And I didn't feel judged. It just felt critiqued, and it felt different, you know, and I was like, actually, I agree with that. Yeah, that's good. No, I think I like that bit, and actually, I agree with you there. So then we'd go back and change it, and then put the next one out, and then you get a few more thumbs up, and then somebody'd be go, oh, I don't know about this bit, and just that having that sort of sounding board to put ideas out and not have them judged I've never had that before. And that's what started to create trust within me, within the group. And I've been on my own all the time. I've always worked on my own. I've been a bit of a loner. So to have that was new for me, you know. So, and I soon found that accelerated your progress so fast, because normally I'd have an idea, spend all the time putting it all together, building it, and then put it out there. And then you find that nobody's interested, or you've got the words wrong, or it just doesn't resonate with people, right? But with this, you could get it right first, then build it, and then put it out there. And I just found that such a powerful sort of process compared to what I did before, you know.
What'd you struggle with?
The thing I didn't think I'd struggle with. So webinar week. Webinar week.
What is webinar week for people that don't know?
Okay, so webinar week's where we get to put a webinar together. So we put an online kind of mini course together that we do on the Zoom software, so people dial in and they can watch you, and you kind of take them through 3 of the points of one of your products. So I do a lot of webinars anyway, but I do them for somebody else, and they kind of big me up and have everybody excited about me coming on the webinar. So when I get there, it's easy, right? And I'm good at running the actual thing and taking people through the process. I don't mind doing that. But what I didn't realize is the difference it would be when my name's on it and it was about me, and the people were cold and didn't know who I was, and I'd have to warm them up, and I wasn't really ready for that. And that got really terrifying. But it was good because I really wanted to run away, I'll be honest. For the morning before, I was like, how can I get out of this? How can I get out of this? I can remember Susan saying that her tech broke, and I was like, I could say my tech broke. And I was like, and I was my mind was just trying to get me out of it. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this. And pushing through that was so hard, but it was like lifting weights. It was like going to the gym, you know. And once I got through that, I was like, and I'd already booked one the next day. And I was immediately trying to work out ways I could cancel that one. And I was like, no. But what I hadn't been on this one was me. So on the second one, I was me. I just showed up as me, and I was unapologetically me. And it went so smooth. And it was so good, you know. And it was a bit tricky at times and stuff, but it felt much better. And I got to the end of that one, and then I felt like Superman. I'll be honest, I clicked Zoom off at the end, and I was like, yes. You know, I was like, why was I making that so hard? You know, but I had to go through that, I guess, to learn. And what's beautiful about this process is I wouldn't have done that on my own. If I'd had a way out, I'd have got out. But I couldn't let that lot down. I couldn't let my team down.
Yeah, that's the thing. The accountability is what gets people through all the little resistances that have stopped them in the past from ever building the business. And
Absolutely.
There's probably 25 little resistances on the whole course that could have stopped you dead in the tracks. But you knew you had to be accountable. And after you did the webinar, you said you had a one-on-one call with someone, and
yeah, it was easy. It was absolutely easy, you know. And I don't mind doing sales calls, but they're not my favourite thing. But I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that call because it was like just simple. It was just so easy, and I love what I do. I adore it, and I see the massive difference it makes to people's lives. So why wouldn't I want to go and give people the opportunity of working with me in that way? You know, and it showed me that as well, that I'm not trying to get money off people. It's like, you're not trying to get money off me. I know how much you love what you do and how much you love what we do within what you do. And I see the buzz you get from that, and I get the same buzz. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. To change somebody's life, how good's that? It's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So, and it's made me see that as well, that it's not me trying to get money. Right. You know, I must have had some deep kind of old programming from that as well.
Probably still is there. So every day you have to kind of deprogram that and change your relationship with money, which is a lot of what the course does.
Yeah.
What are you doing for the next 12 months? What do you want to take this business? What kind of things you want to do? People you want to transform?
So what I've realized going through this actually is that my main struggle was with people even thinking what I do is possible, because the results I get at times don't look real, they don't look possible. So when I started sharing, I was actually getting called out a little bit on, are you exaggerating? You know, and I'm not, I was playing it down, to be honest. The results are incredible. So I realized that my job, and Tracy was my business partner, who I did it for both of us, our job is to show people things are possible. And I think you do that in a way as well. You know, you do the interviews with people, you take different life skills from those people, you apply them to yourself and show that normal people can do this, you know, and we get to do that, right? And at the same time, I don't think our job's to be coaching within it. I think our job's to grow it, to reach as many people. So we want at least 12 people trained up as coaches within a year. We'd like to, what we adore the most is running retreats. So a retreat a month at least. And my MVP was actually a complete failure. Their low cost product, I got it so wrong, but through getting it wrong, I've worked out what's right, you know. And what's right is that after we finish working with people, they're kind of left and don't know what to do with it. So our low end product's going to be a monthly product where people can pay a low cost monthly thing and have a space where they can be taken through the next level. So they're not on their own. They've got somebody showing them what to do, and that's resonating with people a lot.
Excellent. And you learned that because you pulled the trigger and tried an MVP that wasn't the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the feedback I got from people from that, suddenly we both had like a light bulb moment, like, because people want support.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're doing here.
Exactly. And it's been like a perfect model for us, you know, to see this being run so well and seeing the difference it makes when it is. Because I've done similar things. The marketing kind of side was very, very similar, but the love wasn't there. The support wasn't there. I loved, one of the things that made me sign up actually, at the beginning, I just remember that was, we don't leave anybody behind. And I loved that. And I didn't expect myself to get left behind, but I like the fact that nobody gets left behind. Yeah. I'm about that sort of thing as well, you know.
Yeah, this is our passion around here, so
like
we love it. You can tell when we teach it, the team leaders, and so we love to see results like you. So that's what it's all about. Tell me about you, Tim. We walked out on Old Street Roundabout right now and bumped into the Tim that didn't pull the trigger. How is he different than you?
He's getting frustrated. He's still frustrated because he's got this amazing thing that he wants to take to the world, and he just doesn't understand why people don't understand it, you know, and he's just frustrated. And that's been my biggest thing going through this, is to get rid of that frustration and to understand, why don't people understand it? Because you don't normally have a forum where you can go and ask people, what is it about it that you think I'm making it up? Why do you think I'm exaggerating? Why do you think it's... People wouldn't normally even tell you that, would they? They would just push you away and not be interested. So to have that space has just been awesome. So yeah, he'd just be stuck still. Yeah. Pretending to take action, pretending to show
up. Tim, final question for someone who's watching, who was like you, on the edge, you know, until that chat came up, who's thinking, I don't know if I should take this or not. What do you tell them?
Just go for it, because you don't know what you're going to get from it. Right? I was hoping for some business strategies, for accountability. What I didn't know was what I was going to get. Number one, I was going to get my name back, because in this process, in fact, when we wrote the thing, I found myself in London Real as a double sort of meaning, because I found myself here just by the fact that I happened to be here, but I found myself as well. And what I mean by that is that I have spent a lot of time on my own in my life. I've spent a lot of time being a loner, doing businesses on my own and everything. And I didn't know how much it would change everything when I opened up and let people in. So, and I didn't see that coming. I had no clue that was going to happen, right? And I've now got a new family, a new team, a new bunch of people who are rooting for me, a new bunch of people I can rely on, I can trust, I can run stuff by. I never saw that coming, right? And so the reason it hasn't been working for me is because I've been hanging on to it like for grim death. And now I'm starting to open it up. People are starting to just flow into it and wanting to help us with things and wanting to do things with us. And all of a sudden it's just starting to get this life of its own that I was killing by strangling it, you know? And I had no idea that was even happening, because it's just an old pattern that I've been running to protect myself since I was little, you know? So to open up and just feel that love and to get that support and everything, I could have never seen that when I was thinking about pulling the trigger at the thing. I thought it was all about business.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're talking, everything you're saying is what I felt as well at one point. So, it is a business accelerator, but by doing this, you learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And you start, putting out good energy, vibrating at a different frequency, and everyone picks up on that.
Absolutely.
Customers, partners, family, friends, and then you start becoming really an asset for the world, as opposed to just something that's just, like you said, trying to strangle it, or just doing it, all on your own.
Well, the amount of people who've said, I didn't even know what you did. Because I remember when you said, you got to paste it on your walls. I was like, oh, no problem. And on your private wall, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I think everybody had pretty much the same resistance around that, but some magic came from that. That was really good. Yeah. And that was like I said, people didn't even know what I did. Because I think when we're an expert at something, you fill the gaps in, don't you?
Yeah, you just assume they know. So.
Yeah.
Tim, it's been awesome having you here. Your energy is incredible, and just really contributing to the whole world now. We can really feel it. I know you've been watching London Real since 5 years ago. Eric Thomas in the house.
Yeah,
ET.
man.
What up, what up, what up? And so it's great to see. You said you kind of visualized yourself in this seat back in the
Here I
day.
am.
And look, you made it happen.
It worked.
You made it happen also because you pulled the trigger and went into the fear. And there's a lot of people out there that just found an excuse not to, and you went into it. So you deserve all of this. Welcome to the family.
Cheers, man.
Welcome to the club. And let's keep pushing you and keep doing great things in this world and make some change.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, Tim.
Cheers, man.
London Real doesn't stop when the conversation ends. You see, that's when we get started. Because everything begins with a thought, and then comes the action. The London Real Academy is our global transformation platform. Here we bring together thousands of students from over 75 countries. Whether you want to build a profitable business from your passion, or learn to speak to inspire, or broadcast yourself with your very own podcast, or accelerate your life to become a high-performance person, we have the online accountability course and personal mentoring program that will make your dream a reality. Join us, and we'll take your life to the next level, together. Our next Accelerator course is starting soon.